eagle isn't just a creature that is free to roam the world, but it's free to roam the world above. It has a vantage point. It sees all.
So the gaze of the eyes looks very intense. Seems like those are real feathers.
I'd say the person's very talented, and I'm glad that they're using their talents and showing the world what they can do.
Came to prison when I was 20 and I'm 43 now. The last 3 years, the only thing I thought about is that I've been in prison longer than I was alive when I committed my crime. You wouldn't think that someone who's in prison would feel blessed to be able to donate something to the military, which is the people who maintain in society and the laws, but I kind of felt proud that it went there for that purpose.
This is the marquee, and you can see it says 1824 Maine State Prison, and that was across the top of the building. They couldn't modernize it anymore, and so they built a totally new prison in Warren because there just wasn't enough they could do with those buildings. Because it had been modernized and modernized. Imagine it was here from 1824 to about 2002. There was only so much they could do. In 1820, Maine became a state. They could no longer use the prison in Massachusetts. In 1824, they built the prison here. It was sort of a debate how prison should be designed. And there were two schools of thought. One was that prisoners should be in complete isolation to contemplate their sins and their God. And the other was hard labor. Well, the original prison was the first, isolation. And they were in holes in the ground, and they lowered water down and food and brought up waste twice a day, and they had no human contact other than that. Very quickly, the state didn't decide that that was inhuman, but decided it was too expensive, that if they went to hard labor, there was something they could sell. And so very quickly, the prison changed over to the hard labor.
The facility has a little over 900. In our program, we have currently 130 inmates. 20 are doing life here, and the rest 10, 20, 30 years. The unit management team sifts out who we choose from to work. They have to be following any anger management, substance abuse counseling before they can come into the program. We have over 10,000 tools in the program. And one of the unique things we have is we have a chainsaw. We use it for some carvings. And I don't know how many prison movies you've seen with inmates running around with a chainsaw, but we do have that in here. And we keep a good eye on it.
I got arrested right after high school, so I didn't really have a chance to put my talents to good use. So now this allows me to do that. In here, we get up at 6:45 and come to work. And I can stay here all day, and makes the day go by a lot quicker, and I don't have to worry about what's going on in the facility, and I can just focus on working.
So what I will do is I will set it together like this.
One of my favorite pieces is a tall boy chest of drawers that I did. It's got ball and claw feet on it. And there was one in my grandfather's house, and it got destroyed, and I always said I was going to make one. And one of the programs I'm in here allowed me to do that. It makes me feel like I can build anything, or makes me feel good creating something and finishing it, and making it know that I actually finished something that I started.
In the mid-1800s, they were building carriages, and they were building wagons and things like that. And as that evolved, and as we didn't need those kind of things anymore, they moved on to make things like models of ships, different things that could be used in houses, and the many things you can see in the prison store today.
I try to have my own business at some point, basically building furniture and doing cabinets, maybe kitchen cabinets and bathrooms and stuff like that. I'd like to get out and be successful at this and maybe start a family.
It's normally how I fall asleep these days. I'll start thinking about something that I'm doing over here and how I want to go about doing it. Thinking about that as I go to sleep would lead right into also being excited to get up and go do something.
They represent a history of why Thomaston was so important to the state of Maine. And this is just the end of that history. The last building was torn down.